Hello YouTubers, how you doing? CJ here. I hope you're keeping well. Okay, so it's been a while since I did my last YouTube video, and as I stated before, my life is so hectic, and I'm going to be doing videos when and where I can. But I like to think that you never know what video I'm going to do next, so always well worth the wait, I hope. I'd also like to say and take this opportunity to thank all of my new subscribers and all my subscribers that have been with me from the very beginning. I can't thank you enough from the bottom of my heart. I really can't. Do you know something? I never expected this channel to grow as much as it has, and you know something? I am very, very proud of that, and it's all because of you, the subscribers. So truly, thank you so much. Also, I'd like to give a thank you to those who have watched my videos and keep check of my channel, and to send me emails as well to say what they think of my videos, and give me some ideas as well for videos that they would like to see me do on reviews and so forth. They all really mean a lot to me, and I really, really, really can't thank you all enough. You know, God bless you all. Thank you. Okay, so today's video is my bio movie collection. So I've been trying to work out how to do this video because there are still bio movies I'm collecting, but you know what? I've got a nice little selection I can, do the first video with. You see, I'm into a lot of things. I'm into music. I'm into horror. I'm into action movies. I'm into different things. Obviously, CJ's Den originally started out as a pure Elvis channel, and I was inspired by many other collectors out there. Prince Elvis Jackson, my bestest friend in the world. In fact, he is not my best friend. Get out of it. He is my brother from another mother. I absolutely love him to bits, and the way we see each other, we are family, and that is Rossi, 1973. We become friends through YouTube, and the rest is history, because we're no longer friends. We're brothers, and I love him to bits. I really do. And there's many other friends I've made through YouTube. There's Curtis Simpkins. Check out his channel. I'll have to start leaving links at the bottom, because my life is so crazy. When I do the editing and do the video, I get it uploaded and think, right, and I'm on to something else. It's crazy. My life is so fast paced. I don't stop for anything. Okay, so let's get into it. Otherwise, I'm going to bore you to death. So, as I was saying, I like all different types of music. I like all different types of movies, and pretty soon I'm going to be doing a video for YouTube on just other movies that I like. And I'd like to just before I get into this, I would like to thank one user. He doesn't want me to mention his name, so I'll respect that. But I want to thank him. I did ask him, could I mention his name, and he said he'd rather not. So I said that's completely fine, but he knows what I'm talking about, and I just want to thank him for the personal email he sent me regarding what he has been able to do thanks to watching my videos and my reviews on some of my Elvis collection, including some of the box sets that I have as well. He didn't know about half the stuff that was out there, and because of watching my videos, he has gone out and he has found and bought most of the box sets that I now have. All I can say is you're most welcome. Congratulations on finding, especially the complete works. That's the way it is. Well done, mate, and I'm glad I can help. Or I'm glad I could help. It's really rewarding getting emails like that, such as yourselves, and it really makes me feel good that I've been able to help somebody. So, well done, and keep up the good work, my man. Okay, so let's get into it then, shall we? So my first bio movie is of Johnny Cash, Walk the Line. Now this is the Blu-ray, and the reason why it's the Blu-ray is because this is the two disc Blu-ray collector's edition. That's because the main feature disc on here is the extended cut. In fact, they both say extended cut, but obviously the main movie is just on disc 1, and I wanted it on DVD because, don't get me wrong, I like Blu-rays, but most of my collection are on DVD, and there's a lot of DVDs that I have that are not on Blu-ray, so it does irritate me at times when things come out on Blu-ray but not DVD. But there we go, you got to move with the times, I guess. The DVD of this does exist, and the extended cut, the uncut version, does is available on DVD. However, the DVD was more expensive than the Blu-ray. We picked this up for about a £5. It was actually my wife who found it. So yeah, we nabbed it, and then I got rid of the other standard DVD then. But the special features on here, in fact the Blu-ray does have a few more special features than the DVD, so I will say that. I'm really happy about that. So the disc 2, you've got like Walk the Line extended musical sequences, deleted scenes, Walk the Line theatrical trailer, Becoming Cash, Becoming Carter, Folsom, Cash on the Comeback, Ring of Fire, The Passion of Johnny and June, Cash and His Faith, Celebrating the Man in Black, The Making of Walk the Line, Sun Records and The Journey, Cash Sound, The Cash Legacy, music videos, right, okay. And then obviously then you've got the disc 1. The only special features on disc 1 is obviously the feature commentary with co-writer and director. So yeah, the uncut director's cut on Blu-ray of Johnny Cash's Walk the Line. Brilliant movie. Now, before I continue with the rest of the collection, we know that there are many bio movies, in fact almost all of them. There are some exceptions, but almost all of them, some people, I've seen some collectors say, well, that's not correct, this didn't happen. Look, whatever the situation is, it is where it is, and that's that. So if you think of leaving a negative comment about one of these movies and saying this is crap, or that's this, or this is that, you're wasting your time, because your comment will be deleted. I keep everything positive on this channel. There's too much negativity in the world. Let's try to keep focused and keep positive, yeah? And be grateful that we're all still here. If anything, 2020 taught me never take life or anything for granted. So, I Walk the Line. The only Blu-ray that I have on my bio collections. Okay, now I've just got this. I have not watched it. I only had it yesterday in a job lot that came in of DVDs. Judy Garland, The Legend Behind the Rainbow. I'm looking forward to watching that. I was going to watch this last night, but I was way too tired when I went to bed. So I may give this a watch tonight, or later on this afternoon, if I get time, that is. Because I only get to watch movies now in bed, because I don't get time any other way. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to giving this a watch. So, special features, behind the scenes feature, transformation becoming Judy feature, and deleted scenes. So, that looks pretty cool. Can't really give a review on it, really, to be honest. But yeah, I'm going to give that a watch later on. Okay, now this DVD here is my wife's DVD. This is Kelly's DVD. But it's a bio movie. I enjoy the movie. It's a great movie, but it's also sad. And that's the thing. Some of these bio movies, they are emotional due to things that have happened in their careers. And this is Selena. Now there is a Netflix, I think it's Netflix, TV series of Selena, but even family members of Selena have kind of said, it's not given it a good review, so I will not be watching the series, and neither will Kelly, my wife. She's already stated that. But this, however, was done with people involving with her family. In fact, my one of the family members was helped out with the production and the story and everything. So the family were involved with this, and they were happy about it as well with the outcome. So yeah, really a great movie, but very sad at the end, obviously. No, I'd never really seen this until I met my wife, and you know, Kelly told me about her. Now I'd heard about her, heard one of her songs or two, but never really was fully aware of everything she did or anything like that until Kelly told me about it, because she's a big fan, and she's got her albums and so forth, and yeah, this is a pretty cool sad movie, Selena. I'm sorry about any reflections or any glare. I do have another light coming this way because even though the main light on is still dark. But yeah, I've got my Elvis stuff on the wall that way, so this is reflecting some of the stuff that's in front. So I do apologise about that, but I'm gonna try and get an angle. No, I can't. I'm gonna have to find a new way of doing my videos. Excuse me, when showing things like this, because I don't like the glares. Okay, so that's Selena. I might start doing like I did them once before. I did do one or two videos where I flipped the camera and I showed you the stuff that way. I might do that at some point, but with certain videos this is okay. So the next video, the next DVD is Celine. Now, Kelly and myself, we are huge fans of Celine Dion, and Kelly surprised me back in 2019 with concert tickets to go and see Celine Dion, and it was a birthday present, and I was gobsmacked. In fact, I still have the card that she gave me all the clues. She wrote a huge poem for me on the one side, but it was all Celine Dion songs. The poem was made up of all Celine Dion songs. It was really, really cool. And it was very early in the morning. I was completely half asleep, and the kids were excited to give me my presents and everything. And I was sat up on the bed. I'm like, "Good morning." And I had a coffee. I was like, "Thank you." What time is it? Do I have to get up? But they all came in, and I was reading this card, and I was like, "Oh, that's nice." Next card. And Kelly was like, "No, keep reading the card." And I was like, "Well, I've already read it, but my eyes are adjusting still. It's early in the morning." And in the end, when I finally sort of realised it was all of Celine Dion's songs, as a poem. Yeah. Sadly, however, due to Celine Dion's health, obviously 2020 happened. We were due to see her in 2020, you see. That's when the concert was originally scheduled for. But due to COVID, it got cancelled, postponed, should I say. Postponed due to COVID. And then it got postponed afterwards, and again and again and again, because of Celine Dion's health. Now, there is a video going around of somebody who just happens to look like Celine Dion in a wheelchair. For anyone who's watching this video, when you've seen the video, I'm going to state this: it is 110% not Celine Dion. There's also rumours. There's also a photo of Celine in a hospital bed. That is not Celine Dion. I really wish people who sees these things do their research and look into things before making assumptions or believing the crap that goes around. It is very disheartening, to be quite honest with you, and very rude and very sad. And I think the people who create those kind of videos and spreads those kind of videos and creates these pictures with Photoshop and everything else. I mean, I can do stuff like that. I mean, I can put myself walking behind Elvis in concert, coming onto a stage, or I can put myself. It's all great with technology, and I've got the technology to do stuff like that. But I won't do it and say, "Look, I went to see Elvis, and even though I'm my age, I went back to the future." I mean, I went back to the past. I mean, get over it. It's mental. So if anybody's watching this who may have started or created one of those videos and spread it around, you're a very sad person and love the attention, clearly. As a big Celine Dion fan, I just found that very, 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 what's the word I'm looking for? Very rude and very just nasty and mean. You know what I mean? Very sad and shallow. So anyway, this is the movie Celine. And as I said before, there are inaccuracies in all bio movies that's created and done and made, apart from those where family members are involved. I mean, a family member's not going to put in and say that this is right when it's wrong. Although I'm quite surprised with the new Elvis movie, mind. I got to be honest, because that's not accurate. There are things in there that didn't happen. So I'm quite surprised on that one. But that's another video for another time, which I will be doing a video on the Elvis bio movies. So yeah, Celine. It's quite hard to get as well, this is. And this one's a promotional use only, not for public sale. Okay. And here's the other one. This is also a promotional one. This is Madonna, Innocence Lost, in Time's Confessions. In Time's Confessions. Yeah. Where's that one? I'm not showing up there. Okay. So that's another good movie there. Innocence Lost. Because I'm also a Madonna fan as well. I like her music. I don't have everything she's done, but I have like the greatest hits, and I have True Blue, the album. Okay, another movie. Now, which is Bohemian Rhapsody. A fantastic movie, no doubt about that. When I first watched it, it seemed to go pretty fast. I didn't really know what to make of it. If I'm honest, when I first watched it, I wasn't that keen on it. But after the second and the third time, I began to really enjoy it. So I thought, yeah, that's definitely one for my collection. There was no greater voice besides, you know, with the UK stands for. I mean, Queen is just amazing. So, experience the full Live Aid film performance not seen in cinemas. The cover is just like the box. I actually, believe it or not, I'm not a fan of like DVDs and cover boxes like this. I normally take them out and bin them. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. Apart from Elvis ones, of course. So I might take this sticker off and put it on the case and just use this, but there we go. Bohemian Rhapsody. And then my favourite rock band of all time, heavy metal rock band, it is Motley Crue, The Dirt. Now, I've said to a few people that my favourite rock band of all time is Motley Crue, and they've looked at me, they've looked at my sideburns, they've looked at the fact that I'm an Elvis fan and I sing Elvis and everything else like that, and they've just looked at me twice, and they're like, pardon? That's your favourite rock band? I'm like, oh yeah. You can't beat Theatre of Pain, or Shout at the Devil, or Dr. Feelgood. Too Fast for Love, you know, I've got all their albums, I've got everything they've done. I think they're absolutely rock and roll, man. You know what I mean? I love them. Yes, the thing is, see, I like all different types of music, and they've got to be a certain feel to them. Now, I got into Motley Crue when I was in my teens, and you know, it was kind of a distraction away from, you know, when I was getting bullied for you know, singing Elvis and so forth. Although Elvis was always my biggest distraction, because I knew that it didn't matter what I played of Elvis, I would always feel great about it, and you know, you'd make me happy and smile. But then there's that little bit of rebellion side of me that, you know, really didn't give a damn about what the bullies were saying, to the point that I just wanted to really, you know, release so much energy, and I could chuck a Motley Crue album on and just let it all go, you know what I mean? Just get down and dirty with it. So, yeah. Motley Crue, The Dirt, a fantastic movie. And I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Region 1. I had to get it from America. This DVD wasn't available in the UK on DVD, only on Netflix. So there was a lot of bootlegs going around at the time with like Blu-rays and stuff like that. But so yeah, Motley Crue, The Dirt. I've even got the book. I'll have to do a video on my Motley Crue collection. That's another. Okay, now I've already showed this in my Meatloaf collection, but so I didn't know whether to show this one or not. The same thing up with The Dirt, but you know, the only bio movies I'm not showing in this video are my Elvis collection. So this is Meatloaf, To Hell and Back. This is a VHS digital transfer, which I did myself, from a very rare UK VHS tape. I did have an American one, but I wasn't really happy with the quality, and I luckily found, because it's quite rare to find this movie on the original VHS UK release, but I found one, and I think I paid about £20 odd for it, something like that. And when I got it, I scanned in the cover, replicated it into DVD format, without it looking stretched and everything else. And I did a digital transfer. That's my design, because I like printing on the discs as well, which you've all probably seen from my previous videos. So yeah, to hell and back. I'm also a big Meatloaf fan, which I'm just gutted he's no longer with us. The day that I found out and the news came on to say he passed, I just broke. And then the first thing I did was get out my vinyl of Bad Out of Hell, the original 1977 release, put it on the turntable, and I blasted that mother. Do you know what I mean? Just blasted it. So this one, the next one is John Lennon. This is Nowhere Boy. As a boy, all John Lennon needed was love. Nowhere Boy. Now this tells the story of how John's, it touches up on John's childhood, how things were, but then it focuses on mainly his teenage years and when he first started his band, which was the Quarry Boys, or Quarrymen, I think it was. Let's see if I can find. I'm reading too fast now, and I haven't got my glasses on, so yeah. Brilliant movie. Sad as well. Like I said, it's all emotional and all sad in parts. The bio movies are. Great movie though. Great movie. And then I kind of class it as a bit of a follow-up movie to Nowhere Boy, but it's not really a follow-up, to be honest with you. Well, it is and it isn't, I class it. I don't know. This is Lennon Naked. This is basically, it touches up, when it starts up, it starts up in black and white, and then it goes into colour, and it tells the story of, it kind of, again, touches up on John's childhood, because his father comes into it, where his father isn't really in this, you just see like shadows of him type thing. So this one kind of tells the story of when he was a kid and he lived with his auntie Mimi, and you know, he finds his mum and starts obviously a relationship, having a mum and son relationship and everything, and this kind of then follows on. So obviously his mum sadly passes away. Kind of follows on then from like sort of finding his dad wants to meet him and all this, that and the other. So it does touch up slightly on his childhood with being talked and spoken about. But then, you know, he goes on, basically, he's already with the Beatles, they've had the fame and fortune and everything, and he's, at the time, with his first wife, and it basically touches on where he leaves his first wife, he meets Yoko, he gets with Yoko, and it goes all the way through that to what the life was like here in the UK, and the ending of it is basically where they go to New York on the plane, and kind of ends there. There's never really been a bio movie on John's life from beginning to end. It'd be quite cool because I do like a lot of John Lennon's recordings. In fact, on MP3 and on one disc, I have every album that John put out, plus stuff that wasn't released and everything else. So this, again, it's an okay movie. Like I said, it's pretty good. I enjoy it. So now recently, my disc's original, but I will say the cover is a copy, because I had the disc on a job lot. I had it in the pouch, and then I found a cover for it online. So the disc's original, but it's one of these discs where it's one of these with the writing that's in the middle. It's actually a double-sided disc. The one side's widescreen, the other side is more a 6.9. So anyway, Why Do Fools Fall in Love? I first watched this movie about a month or so ago, and my goodness, what a bit of a guy he was, eh? Yeah, quite surprised. It's kind of funny in parts, and little Richard plays himself in here, and oh my, he's in that courtroom. I mean, it's funny. It is funny. Good story, sad story. Just an overall cool, like rock and roll sort of movie. And I never knew much about him. I mean, I knew obviously his famous hit "Why Do Fools Fall in Love," but I didn't really know much else about him. So yeah, that was pretty cool to watch. If you haven't seen it, it's a great movie. Why Do Fools Fall in Love? The story of Frankie Lyman. This next one again. Now this one is true. And God bless her soul. Tina. What's love got to do with it? The true story of Tina Turner. Now, this is true because Tina Turner herself had involvement with the movie. In fact, she helped the person who plays Tina. But what was so... What I found so... Well, not surprising, but... I don't know, I mean... I can understand why she didn't want to do it, but Tina herself, when the movie was complete and put out, she never went to see the movie herself. Now, whether she did in the later years, I don't know. But the last interview that I saw of Tina, and which was back further, I don't think much was spoken about it, but she'd never gone to see this movie when it was released, and she never had the movie either, as far as I'm aware. But, you know, and in the interview she said, well, why would I want to watch the movie? I've lived it. So why would I want to watch it? But yet, she had involvement. She helped the person playing Tina in the movie. And she gave direction and she put everything down. She oversaw everything. So that's how you know this is true, because it was done with Tina involved, going through every step of the way. So what a movie. Sad, and it's so gutting that she's no longer with us, because she was an absolute legend and she always will be a legend. So and I did watch this the night that it came out that she had passed, and then the following day then I got a few of her albums out and played them, you know. So that's my other bio movie. What's love got to do with it? Actually, there's no original soundtrack out of that. I was looking for one recently. There is a soundtrack, but it doesn't feature Rocket 88. I was looking for that song by the guy who plays Ike, because he recorded it and did it himself. So okay, so that's that. The next one I got is another singer that I really like, that I've got practically everything that he did. This is Take Me Home, the John Denver story. Another good movie. It's quite ready to get hold of now, I think. I think somebody asked me for a copy of this before, where could I get one, and I remember when I tried looking for it, I couldn't really find it. Or should I say I did find it, but it was very, very expensive. I picked this up, good God, around 2004, something like that, 2004. I picked this up on DVD. So, the only snag with this is when I first put it on, the menu comes on and you hit the play button, but it doesn't start from the beginning. It starts from like the second scene type thing where he meets Annie and Annie's coming down the stairs. When that comes on, I've got to hit the back button to put it back to the beginning. So if I do come across another copy of this, I may get it, but, you know, it doesn't really bother me that much, you know. I like the design as well. It's pretty cool. So yeah, the John Denver story. And so that's that. And now, Ray. Now, what can I say about this movie? What is there to say? I mean, he was a legend. You know, obviously, again, quite surprising how his life was. So, and this is the 2-disc edition. So, theatrical trailer, branched extended edition of the feature. Branch extended edition of the feature. I'm not sure if I've actually watched that version. I'll have to revisit this one too and give this one another watch. I haven't watched this, mind you. Can't remember the last time I watched this movie. But it's a great movie. Great movie. Sad movie, but great. And then we have Great Balls of Fire. Whoops. Sorry, I sounded like a bit of a squawk there. I've been singing too much recently. Let's try that again, shall we? Take 2. Great Balls of Fire. It's a little better. Okay, Great Balls of Fire. Great movie on Jerry Lee Lewis. Now, a couple of things I've heard about this movie when looking online. There are forums and different articles online stating that you know, that Jerry wasn't happy with the movie, that he didn't like how it turned out or whatever, and he just didn't approve of the movie. Now, there's a part of me that finds that a little hard to believe, considering that, you know, he was actually on the set of the movie, and Dennis Quaid, who plays Jerry, Jerry and Dennis actually bonded a lot together. Jerry was always on the set, you know, guiding Dennis, who betrayed Jerry in the movie, and he helped Dennis on many different things. He even sort of learned him to play the piano. In fact, on the CD soundtrack album, if you have it, I have it. I love the CD soundtrack, and I bought it because I loved the re-recordings that Jerry did for the movie. That's another thing. Jerry re-recorded his greatest hits for the movie. So Jerry had involvement with this from beginning to end. So I don't know why there are so many people who say that he didn't like it, because it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. So, and you know, it's funny. I'm actually friends with Jerry's sister, Linda Gay Lewis. So I would say about maybe messaging and asking her, but you know, Jerry hasn't long passed, and I think that would be disrespectful. That's the word I was trying to think of for that other movie when I was speaking about it. Disrespectful. So yeah, I might not, but you know what? It is where it is, and you know, he will always be a legend. I'm proud to call Linda a friend because she's an absolute legend in her own right. She's done so many recordings over the years, got amazing albums out, and I just love her voice, and I love her as well. She's an absolute gem. So you know, so yeah, that's Great Balls of Fire. The next one, and the next two, is related to, you know, let's see if we can show these two together maybe. February 1959. There was a plane crash that took 3 rock and roll legends away from us. Giles Pale Richardson, or J.P. Richardson, if you want, also known as the Big Bopper. Sadly, there are no bio movies made on his life, but he is mentioned in many documentaries about that fateful night in Clear Lake, Iowa, when the plane crashed. Not only taking the pilot Roger Peterson, but the other 2 rock and roll legends, Buddy Holly and Ritchie Valens. Talk about this one first. This is La Bamba. This is the story of Ritchie Valens. He was the youngest out of the 3, being only 17 years old. And you know, his career was very short-lived. He packed though a lot in to his career, despite how short it was. He had some great hits: Donna, La Bamba, Come On Let's Go, among others. Now, me being an absolute music fanatic, I love rock and roll music. I love the music of the 50s. No matter what other music I'm into, the 50s music is in my heart. It's in my blood, along with Elvis's music. But the 50s, there's, when you listen to a 50s song, you may not really like it, but you can be in a restaurant, or you can be, I don't know, at some sort of show, or walking on the show field, you know, where you get the rides and everything, the fun fair, and you hear maybe Rock Around the Clock or something playing, and you can't help maybe tap your feet or snap your fingers, you know. You just get the rhythm and you just feel it in your bones. There is something magical about that kind of music that will remain with me for the rest of my life. So you know, this is, again, I keep repeating myself, and I'm sorry. I've got so much passion in me about things. You know, again, a great movie, very sad and emotional, but a great movie, great bunch of songs, and Lou Diamond Phillips plays Ritchie to a T. Again, Ritchie's family was involved with this movie, including Ritchie's sister Connie. And again, it's another way of how you can tell the movie's more accurate because of family members and people who were involved with the movie. The record producer Bob Keane, you know. Los Lobos does the recordings for the songs in this movie. In fact, I'm going to get these because they're only by here. But recently I bought the CD soundtrack. I mean, I got the CD soundtracks for quite a lot of the bio movies that I have here. My Buddy Holly soundtrack is in there. I should have got them out to show, but these two I've used recently and they're just by here, so I'll show you these. This is the La Bamba soundtrack, and there's also part 2, La Bamba part 2, because this one here features the songs La Bamba, Come On Let's Go, Ooh My Head, We Belong Together, Framed, Donna, Lonely Teardrops, Crying, Waiting, Hoping, Summertime Blues, Who Do You Love, Charlena, Good Night My Love. And this one features Ready Teddy, Chantilly Lace, Tweedledee Dee, Don't You Just Know It, Betty Jean, La Bamba, Sleepwalk, Over the Mountain, Across the Sea, For Your Precious Love, This I Swear, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, and Donna. Now, the songs on here are featured by Richie Valens when it comes to Richie's songs, and all the other artists are of the original artists. But I noticed when listening to Chantilly Lace and then listening to the Big Bopper's Greatest Hits, it's a different version. It's like an alternate take on here, which is pretty cool to have. And obviously on here, the songs are by the cast that are in the movie. So, absolutely fantastic. Both on the same record label as well, London American Recordings. So, pretty cool to have. And the movie's pretty cool as well. So, and then we'll come on to the next one. This is the Buddy Holly story. Again, I think Gary Busey's done an amazing job. I really can't get over. This is one of my favourite movies, and I've become a bit of a mega big Buddy Holly fan. I've got all of Buddy's albums. I've got just like I've got Richie's albums. I've got Richie's only 2 albums Richie released in his lifetime, and then everything else then that was recorded got released in compilations after. So I've got all of in fact only one live concert as well at the high school we even got put out. So I've got all of Richie's albums, got the Big Boppers album, and I've got all of Buddy Holly's album. But I've also not only got the soundtrack for La Bamba, but I've got the soundtrack for this too. Now I had to get the deluxe edition of the soundtrack for this, which is not long recently been put out on CD, mainly because it features not only the songs on the original soundtrack album that came out originally, but it features the songs that didn't end up on the album, like Mockingbird Hill. I loved the version of that in this movie at the roller rink at the beginning. It's on the deluxe edition CD, so I've got that. And I was quite lucky with that one too. I only paid like £6 for it, and it was sealed. So I'm really happy about that. And again, fantastic movie. Now I do know that there were things that apparently wasn't quite exact, but I don't know what to make of that. They just, as far as I'm concerned, they're rumours. I think Gary did an excellent and an amazing job. There's nothing that can be said bad about it, and I love Gary's voice though, because Gary himself he had his own band, and he does all the singing himself for Buddy's songs, and I just think he portrayed him fantastically. So it's the Buddy Holly story. Okay, now my last 2 bio movies. Okay. This one, these particular 2, I've been wanting to get for a very long time on DVD, but they've always been very, very, very expensive. And the one, however, wasn't that expensive, so I found a good price on this one, and then I'll talk about the last one when it comes to it. But the one I'm showing you first is And the Beat Goes On, the Sonny and Cher story. Like I said, every time I've seen this on original DVD, it's been very expensive. But I eventually found one which was a very good price. Because I believe this was only put out on DVD in Australia. So, and this is the original DVD. But it says printed in the USA, so I don't know whether it did come out in the USA for a certain period of time. But yet, what's interesting, the production company is Carlton, which is actually in the UK. So, yeah, it's pretty, pretty cool. And this is an all region as well. It's not a region 1, it's not a region 2. It's a multi-region. So they'll play on DVD players all over the world. It doesn't bother me because all of my DVD players and Blu-ray players are actually multi-region anyway. Only because I get so much from all around the world. So yeah, great story on the on Sonny and Cher, how she first started out and their careers. A little sad at the end though, but yeah, finally got it. And the beat goes on, the Sonny and Cher story. because I'm also a big fan of Cher. I've also, as of 4 years ago, I've got everything that Cher's recorded, and obviously since, all the latest stuff that's come out since then I've got as well. So, the last one. Now this one, again, was very expensive, but I did some work for somebody in Sweden, and I basically, he helped me out with half of this, and really can't thank him enough. I was my mate Miguel, and he's been a friend of mine now for many years, because he's a big Freddie Starr fan, which is how we become friends, and he's just an amazing guy. Can't thank him enough for it, but he helped me to get this. This was Little Richard. Now there's a copy of this on eBay that's about £4 odd to a £5. Don't get it, because the quality is crap. It is actually it's actually, how can I put it? It's a download of a download, I think. It's good if you can't get hold of the original and you just want to watch the movie. So, but the description is kind of misleading, because it states that it's, you know, high quality and everything, but it's not. Now this is actually available from Walmart, believe it or not, and you can get this for about £15 in UK money. But Walmart and the other website I found on in the US, now it was a manufacturing on demand, which I didn't mind, because a lot of things are now manufactured on demand, but they won't ship to the UK. So the only other option was to get the original DVD. So I couldn't do it on my own, but I just I'd sent a few things to Miguel, and he wanted to help me get hold of it. So and what I sent to Miguel was basically done via WeTransfer online, so it didn't really cost me anything. But obviously, he appreciates the work I do with creating covers and artwork and so forth. So and he just wanted to help, say thank you. So cheers, buddy. Means a lot. So this is the original DVD of the movie Little Richard. And it's so expensive. I've even done myself a backup copy just to play. I don't really want to play the original, but I have played the original, obviously, to make sure it works and everything else like that. Great movie, great rock and roll movie. This was just originally made for TV, and it got shown on on Sky many years ago. In fact, when I was a lot younger. So, and then this got released then on DVD, I believe, in 2002. That's what it says on here. And what's funny about it, it's Artists and Home Entertainment. The company that put this out is the same company that put out Fright Night Part 2 on DVD. Which, that's another story for another video. I am going to do a video on my other movies that I like. So that's Little Richard. Great movie, great rock and roll movie. Because I do like Little Richard. I think his music's just timeless. The wildcat of rock and roll, the architect of rock and roll, as he's nicknamed. So yeah. We're basically coming to the end now of the video. I'm sorry this has been a bit short and sweet, but you know, I wanted to do something, and I've got so many ideas for videos, including somebody who's getting into Elvis and wanting to know what would be like the right books and so forth. So I think that will be my next video, and I'm going to try and do that next week, possibly next Thursday. So I've got so many videos to do. So anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoy the rest of the videos I've got coming up. One of the videos I got coming up, which again, it's been requested many times, basically on a question that I was asked. People who had seen my other videos, such as me showing my Shakin' Stevens collection, my Meatloaf collection, and so forth, they've asked me what are the things I'm into, like what are the movies, because I seem to be pretty old school. And you know something, you're right. Now, I have had so many emails regarding this, not all saying the same thing word for word, but saying the same thing just in different wording. And you know, you're all right. I am very old school when it comes to music. When it comes to movies, I don't like a lot of the new movies that are coming out. There are some exceptions, but like I love the I Want to Dance with Somebody, the Whitney Houston bio. I enjoyed that. There's a few things I've enjoyed recently, even film wise, but the majority of things I don't like, because I think this day and age with making movies, there's too much CGI, and that's to me there's just no heart in it. I mean, if they made Dracula, for instance, now, I don't know how that would be, because I would still revert and going back to watching Christopher Lee's Dracula or the black and white movies of Dracula. I would still rather watch those than a remake of Dracula today. There's just no feeling. It's like the 90s action movies, like Steven Seagal's Under Siege, which I'm a big Steven Seagal fan. Love his movies, love his music. I love like Harrison Ford, The Fugitive, and you know, U.S. Marshals and Cobra by Sylvester Stallone. I like all of those 80s and 90s, maybe to around the early 2000s, but it was around that point that CGI just really took big, massive effect. So it depends on what movie it is when it comes from the early 2000s. But the 90s, I loved how they made movies, and the 80s. Like I said, there are some exceptions. Like I like the new Fright Night movie, the remake of that. Okay, yeah, there is a lot of CGI here and there, but again, there's still a little touch, there's still a little flavour there of if the movie was made in the 90s by how it was done. So, yeah, I am going to do a video on some of my favourite movies in general. Maybe my horror collection might be a separate video just for horror, because I've got a few collections, like a Halloween collection, a Nightmare on Elm Street collection, because I am a mega fan of Freddy Krueger. I've met Robert Englund as well, who plays Freddy. There's no other person who could play Freddy other than Robert Englund. The remake of the movie A Nightmare on Elm Street was like, no. But I've got it just for my collection. I've got the Friday the 13th movies, got the Leprechaun movies. So yeah, there's quite a few things I've got. Plus there's individuals as well, like individual separate movies that's not in a collection, like thrillers like Cape Fear by Robert De Niro, and Christine, about the car. And one of my favourite funny movies of the time was I Bought a Vampire Motorcycle. So yeah, there's all I think my favourite horror movies would be its own video. But then I like my comedies then, like I got all the Ernest movies. Ernest Goes to Jail, Ernest Scared Stupid, Ernest Saves Christmas, Ernest Goes to Camp. So I could do like a comedy YouTube video at some point. So I'm getting all these different ideas. Now, one thing I've been emailed a lot about recently, I seem to have an email about this nearly every other day, is what is my Elvis CD chronology video all about, and that I keep mentioning from time to time. Well, now I have in previous videos showed and gave an idea of what that is. So I'll give another idea. and I'll show you for the last time. And this is, yes, I know it's taking its time, or I'm taking my time doing it, but the work that I'm putting into this is a little different from what I've done before. So, let me just see if I can turn you around a little bit here. Okay, so this is my Elvis CD collection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to pick out this first one here on the shelf, okay? Now, chronologically, you've got to go back to the beginning, when he first started out. So, although I've got the original box set of this in my unit over here, on the other side, this is a boy from Tupelo. So this focuses on all the recordings and the live concerts he did during the Louisiana Hayride and everything else. And the demos, everything he did at Sun Records, which is where Elvis started out. And yes, I've copied my original CD box set into a case so I can put on my shelf right next to Elvis's first album, which is next because he moved from Sun to RCA, and obviously that was his first album on RCA, Elvis Presley. Then we'll go. Now, this is the research I'm doing. I'm doing research on the dates of the concerts, what album come out in between, the release dates and so forth. I'm doing the whole 9 yards. So after the first album, it'll be this one. Elvis recorded live on stage May 6th and 16th, 1956. So we've got the 1 year at the Venus Room Frontier Hotel, Las Vegas, May 6th, and then at the Robertson Memorial Auditorium, Little Rock, Arkansas, May 16th. So it's a live CD that I've created myself. Then you've got recorded at the Youth Center, Louisiana Fairgrounds, Shreveport. Now I love this cover. This cover is actually used for Elvis's second album, which in the UK is called Rock and Roll Number 2. In America, it was just called Elvis. But I've used it for this CD instead that I put together myself. And there's the poster for this particular concert. So now I think that I took that off the shelf yesterday to the thing. I think I got the dates mixed up. I'm just going to double check. But obviously then you got Elvis' second album, because on that concert he speaks about the second album. And again, I've looked at the release dates and everything else. And that's obviously an original CD. So I guess you can kind of guess what I'm doing when it comes to chronological. So then the next one would be the $1 Million Quartet, where Elvis walked into Sun Records and you know, he was joined by Carl Perkins, Jerry Lee Lewis and Johnny Cash. So I guess, like I said, by now, then after that, then you got Loving You, and then you got obviously the Christmas album, and blah 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 blah. But then there are like CD soundtracks that never really got put out and stuff like that, because of movies where he only sang like 1 or 2 songs or 3 songs, whatever. So I'm going all the way up, all throughout his like career, from 1956 when he first started until 1977 when he sadly passed. So anything recorded, anything done like concerts, for instance, let me see if I can find one to give you another example. Okay, so you've got this is the concert of Elvis was recorded live on stage in Memphis, right? Now this is my original CD. Okay. After that one, you've got Spanish Eyes by Request, as recorded at Sahara Theater Hotel, Lake Theater, May 24th, 1974. And after that one, you have Night Fever in Vegas, the complete August 30th, 1974, 3 a.m. night show. Originally this came out on a double disc. I've got it in a one disc. It's a lot better that way. So then you've got like the Desert Storm album, then the Having Fun on Stage with Elvis. But then it goes back and then to the studio albums, and that's the original CD of Promised Land. So you should be able to see now what I'm doing. Then you've got the release of Pure Gold. But then you've got Back with a Bang. So I'm looking at all the dates when Elvis's concerts was done, when Elvis's original albums was released, and basically put in my collection in order of a timeline, from 1956 to 1977. So I'm looking at all the concerts I've got, and it is a bit of a job, because when you think about it, for instance, you've got the That's the Way It Is concerts. That will be put into a CD box set, but I might have to do that in 6 shows. Yeah, I can put a 6 CD set together. Everything's going in order. Everything. I am very, very excited about doing this, and I'm really happy with what I've done so far. But it's still an ongoing process. There's still a lot of work going into it, and I'm enjoying it, and it'll be one hell of a video when it's done. Now, for instance, I've got here. What's this? I said I got Mid-South Coliseum, Memphis, 5th of July 1976, which I recently bought on CD. Now, I don't like these cases. I gotta be honest. I'm not a fan of them. I like the jewel cases. You know, I'm old school. What can I say? So anyway. Now, what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to scan in the cover, with the back cover at least. I'm going to use this, take this out, I'm going to use this as my front. And I'm going to scan in the back cover and create the spine. I'll put the original case in then, this. I'll put this away in my trunk box, which I've got down there with a few others. Because obviously it's the original, what it came out in. But I'll take this booklet and I'll use that as my front CD cover and booklet. Scan in the back, create my own back cover, and just take the original discs out and put them in a double jewel case. But then this will go in the order, in the timeline of when he did this concert, when he was alive. Even though this wasn't released until after his passing, I'm putting it back in where it should be. So that's what I'm doing with my Elvis collection, and that is what I'm talking about when it comes to chronology. So that is going to be one hell of a video. Will I do it in one video? I don't know, because if you go back down to my very first few videos I did, they were over an hour long to sometimes 2 hours, showing you my Elvis CD collection. Now there are things, there are many things, many albums, many CDs that I'll be showing you in the chronology that I've never shown on camera before. So, yeah. Will I do it, like all the albums of the 50s? Like I've seen a lot of people do these with the records and the CDs, you know, for the 50s, for the 60s and then the 70s. I don't know how I'll do it yet. All I know is that it's going to be well worth it. And will I then do because obviously it'll be from 56 to 77, will I do a video then maybe from 77 upwards to present day? Who knows? But I do have ideas, and it's all exciting stuff to come. I've also got very soon I'm going to be doing an updated video on my Shakin' Stevens collection, because there are a lot of things that I didn't show CD wise and DVD wise in my first video that I did. And there's a couple of thank yous as well that I've got to give out too. So that's all coming soon. There's plenty more to come. So that's it from me. I'm going to love you and leave you. And again, thank you to all my new subscribers and to those who've stuck with me right from the very beginning. So yeah, lots to come. It's just getting the time to physically then do the video. But as I said, I like to think that when there is a video that's done, you know a video is going to come at some point. And it can come unexpectedly. and when that happens, I'd like to think it's been worth the wait. So, to every one of you out there, keep yourselves well and keep yourselves safe, and you'll see me very soon. Okay, so take care, and I'll see you soon.